Swab out. Students will be able to identify the time to the hour on an analog clock. Very good. What that means, everyone face the screen over here. I'm going to put on a little video talking about the time. Just like our clock up there, you're going to learn about the hours and the minutes. Okay, so I want you to pay attention. Is it cute? It's only a little short.
I am so sorry that you guys caught me sleeping. I know that I shouldn't be sleeping in the middle of the day. I got this awesome new clock, but I don't know how to tell time yet, so I do not know when to go to sleep. Hey, I've got an idea. Maybe you guys can help me. Will you help me learn how to tell time so I know when to go to bed? Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Let's zoom over here to the clocks and learn how to tell time. This first clock is an analog clock. This is the new clock I got. To learn time, let's start off with an easier version of this clock. Okay, the little pointer that spins is called a hand. This clock is a clock and only has one small hand on it. This hand is called the hour hand. Around the edge of the clock, we have numbers that go from 1 all the way to 12. This small hand tells us what the hour is. Right now, the hour is pointing to the 3, so it must be 3 o'clock. Now what hour is it?
6 o'clock.
6. Right. Let's look at another. What hour is this? I heard some of you say it is still 6 o'clock. You are correct. The hour does not change until it is pointing at the next number. As long as the hand points 6 and the 7, it is still 6 o'clock. Let's try one more. Right now the hour hand is between the 11 and the 12. So is this o'clock or 12 o'clock?
11 o'clock.
It is still 11 o'clock. It will not be 12 o'clock until the hour hand points right at the 12. Good job, guys. Now this training's great to tell us what hour it is. But what if you have to be a certain time in the middle of the hour? It would be difficult to know exactly when to leave with just using the hour hand. That is why we have what we call the minute hand. Let's bring in one of our big kid clocks. This clock has a big hand and a small hand. We already know the small hand tells us the hour, but do you know what this hand does? This long hand is the minute hand. The minute hand tells us how much time has passed after the hour. When telling time, we always look at the hour hand first. On this clock, the hour hand is pointing to the 12, and the minute hand is pointing to the 1. So would we say the time is 12 and 1 minute? I know you might be tempted to say yes, but that is not correct. Each one of these increments are counted by 5s. There are 5 minutes between each of these big numbers. So when the minute hand is at the 1, 5 minutes have passed. So this is 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 25 minutes, 30 minutes, 35 minutes, 40 minutes, 45 minutes, 50 minutes, 55 minutes, and at the 12, the minutes start back over at 0. So right now, the time is 12:05. The hour hand is at the 12, and the minute hand is pointing at the 1, which is 5 minutes. Let's look at another one. Remember, we first look at the small hand for the hour. It is halfway between the 3 and the 4, so with just the hour hand, we know it is 3 o'clock. Now we look at the minute hand. It is pointing to the 6. Does that mean it is 3 and 6 minutes? No, you are right. We have to count by 5s to get the minutes. Let's count. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 30 minutes. So the time is 3:30 because the hour is 3, and after counting by 5s, we see that the minute hand is pointing to 30 minutes. Let's do one last one. Can you help me out on this one? Great. Okay, you caught me sleeping earlier because my bedtime is 8 o'clock at night. When I saw the big hand pointing to the 8, I thought it was my bedtime. To get the correct time, we need to look at the hour hand first.
Where's the hour
What
hand
number
pointing?
is the small hour hand pointing to?
Darwin?
It is at the 2 still, so the hour is 2. Great job. Now how many minutes have passed? Remember to count by...
Okay. What time is it, 1? Very good. Thank you for paying attention. It's still in the second hour, remember? This is a 2. It hasn't gone to the 3 yet, so we're on 2. This says what?
40.
40. When this large hand, which is called the what?
Minute hand.
Minute hand. The minute hand's pointing to the what?
8.
So that's 40 minutes. Because instead of doing this, 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, 6 minutes. What do? They just skipped and started counting by what?
5.
Yeah, they just said, we're going to count by 5s. So they can go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. But when this gets on here, do they say 260? No. When this hand, when the minute hand, when this goes like this, and points to this 12, what do we say? O'clock. Everyone echo that. O'clock. Say it again.
O'clock.
Yeah. Whenever we get there, we say o'clock. Okay? So if the hour hand is on the 3, and the minute hand up here, what do we say? 3.
O'clock.
What?
3 o'clock.
Yes, very good. So on a digital clock, we would write it like this. 3, and you have your little dots, and then O. What are we going to start with?
1.
Let's count.
1, 2, 3, 4. Number 9.
No, what do they call these?
Arrow.
No. They call them hands. Very good. They call them hands because this is called the clock face.
Yeah.
There's the clock face. We're going to put the numbers on the clock face. What's the shorter hand called? Who knows?
Hour.
Raise your hand, please. What's a shorter hand called? The hour hand. So the shorter one is called the hour. This is how you spell hour. That's what hour we're in. That's the shorter hand. What's the longer hand called?
Minute.
The minute hand. Minute hand. So this tells us what? What hour we're in. This tells us what?
Minute.
How many minutes we are in that hour.
It doesn't work.
Here the students are making analog clocks using yarn as the face of the clock. They're using Post-its and they're numbering them like a number line from 1 to 12, and then they're going to place it around the clock. I'll be walking around the room checking for understanding to see if the children are ordering the clock face in the correct order, and assessing them accordingly. Everyone sit. Superstar Scholars, go.
Our own clock.
Yes, now you have your own clock to where you can tell time yourself.
You can put it at the wall and stick it.
You can, and then what time? Tell me something that happens at 2:30.
We go home.
You go home. Can you show me 2:30 on your clock?
2:30.
Where's the hour hand going to be? Here the students are playing a game. It's called Understanding Time. And as they're playing the game, this really helps me get a better idea of where the students are progressing or not. So I walk around and gives me an opportunity to ask them questions and get feedback from them on whether or not they're able to tell the difference between an analog clock or a digital clock. So this really helps me in assessing if the students are understanding what they're doing. Who can show me, raise your hand, who can show me what 2:30 looks like on my analog clock? Christopher, come up here and show me. Here's the hour hand. Can you put that one? Because Christopher has selective mutism, in order for me to assess him, I have him show me things as opposed to telling me because he doesn't speak. So this is a good way for me to assess whether or not he's grasping the concept. I had to do a flashback here because his smile is priceless. That makes me happy you guys are supporting him. Good job. I love it. Where is the hour hand pointing to? 2. And where is the minute hand? Very good. And what does that say? 2:30. Oh, I love it, love it, love it, love it. Ricardo, what time does this one say? Thank you, Ricardo. Now come over here and put the hands so I can see 10 o'clock.